People, welcome back to the channel, and in this one we're going to take a look at the reason for the ruckus surrounding Mr. Dennis Chung. The range of reactions to the appointment of Chartered Accountant and Financial Commentator Dennis Chung as Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigation Division (FID) was immense. The decision by the Office of the Service Commission (OSC) to appoint Chung to that position has sparked a heated public debate, along with the flexing of political muscles between the opposition and the government. This following the People's National Party issuing a 72-hour ultimatum from Thursday with a promise of quote-unquote actions all over Jamaica if Chung's appointment is not reversed. On Sunday, opposition leader and PNP President Mark Golding advised of a planned peaceful protest against the appointment at National Heroes Circle in Kingston, where the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is located. The PNP is contending that the appointment is highly inappropriate, given Chung's previous remarks on the Integrity Commission's report concerning Prime Minister Andrew Holness' statutory declaration over recent years, and also declaring that he lacks the technical experience necessary to effectively lead the agency. But a day later, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, speaking at a Jamaica Labour Party meeting in St. James, called for labour rights to protest against what he labelled as bad mindism by the PNP, which he says is trying to bully the government into having Chung's appointment rescinding, and have also been focused on slowing the progress of the country. But notably, several local anti-corruption organizations have also raised concerns about Chung's suitability for the position. According to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, Chung brings over 35 years of experience in accounting and financial management to the position, having served in both the public and private sectors. He is a certified public accountant who holds a Bachelor of Science and a Master of Science in Accounting, both from the University of the West Indies. Chung's appointment, which is to take effect on June the 2nd, has been defended heavily by the government, but the PNP is promising a quote-unquote action all over Jamaica if the appointment is not rescinded within 72 hours from Thursday. But in the latest response from the government on Friday, which was issued by the Finance and the Public Service Ministry and includes a response from the Portfolio Minister Favour Williams, it dismissed calls for the administration to overturn Chung's appointment as Chief Technical Director of the FID.
Yeah, man, I say I don't know at first it's the 90s, but I represent for dancehall info. You see me, I say, connect up right now. Make sure you follow the page, subscribe and follow and everything. You see me, I say, support the movement. Polo shirt and my damn shirts, tight jeans with a bad clocks, dancehall info. No boy, man, at first I represent.
Ms. Williams said the selection process was properly undertaken by the OSC, declaring that it would be reckless and dangerous for the government to seek to insert itself to overturn the OSC recommendation. Furthermore, the release said the minister maintained that it would go against good governance if the decision is overturned. This is a part which Jamaicans should avoid, the release said. The selection process was transparent, the position was advertised, candidates were shortlisted and interviewed. Mr. Dennis Chung came out successful. We stand firmly behind his selection on the basis that due process was observed, the release stated. In addition to Chung's public comments about the IC's investigative report on Holness' statutory declarations, the PNP's concerns relative to his pending top roles at the FID are also focused on remarks he made about the multi-million-dollar fraud probe relative to Stocks and Securities Limited (SSL). Speaking at a PNP press conference on the matter on Thursday, opposition leader Mark Golding declared that the PNP is quote-unquote totally opposed to Chung's appointment. We are giving this government 72 hours to rescind this appointment, and if they do not rescind it, there will be actions all over Jamaica, declared General Secretary of the PNP, Dr. Dayton Campbell, at the same press conference. Campbell said the PNP will not stand idly by while the government makes quote-unquote highly inappropriate appointments. In relation to experience for the post, Opposition spokesman on citizen security, Senator Peter Bunting, said he was advised that the individual who heads such a financial investigative unit, FIU, should have at least 10 years experience in financial crime investigation, among other things. So, in summary, what we see is that the executive head of an FIU must combine deep technical expertise in financial crime with leadership, discretion, and an international outlook, Bunting stated. He further said previous chief technical director of the FID like Selvin Hay, Justin Felice, and Calvin Small were all senior detectives with distinguished careers in criminal investigations, intelligence gathering, anti-corruption, and financial crimes. Bunting also pointed to former senior legal counsel at the Bank of Jamaica, Robin Sykes, who Bunting claimed had specialized expertise in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing. Ladies and gentlemen, by comparison, Dennis Chung is a weak and unsuitable candidate for this post, and when you look at the January 25 advertisement for this post, you will be surprised to see that it looks like a generic management or administrative post rather than for someone who is a chief technical director in a financial investigative unit, Bunting stated. Two local anti-corruption organizations, National Integrity Action (NIA) and Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal (JAMP), have also raised concern about Chung's qualifications for the appointment. NIA also expressed concerns about Chung's previous statements on the IC's report, which it said raised legitimate questions about his objectivity on the matter that is now before the FID. Concerns about Mr. Chung's objectivity raise legitimate doubts regarding the integrity of the investigation into the Prime Minister's report from the Integrity Commission, which in turn influences how both the public and key stakeholders perceive the findings, NIA stated. JAMP questioned Chung's qualification for the post, noting that while he is a qualified chartered accountant, there are no known indications of prior experience in complex forensic investigations involving politically exposed persons, leading or managing law enforcement or financial crime teams, working in anti-money laundering or asset recovery files, or navigating cross-border mutual legal assistance or financial action task force. The question of Chung's technical qualification and experience in areas like law enforcement and financial investigations and other related fields has also been raised by civil society advocate Carol Narcis. But a release from the Finance Ministry said in part that, additionally, Minister Williams said that characterizing Mr. Chung as just an accountant demonstrates ignorance as it pertains to the competency and skill set required for the position. Those questioning should do a search that will indicate that to become the head of a financial investigation division, you'll need a strong combination of education, experience, and skills. Typically, this involves a bachelor degree in a relevant field like accounting, finance, law, or a related area, along with at least 7 to 10 years of experience in areas like auditing, financial analysis, or investigations. The release further stated that Mr. Chung possesses ample relevant education, experience, and skills for this position. In response to the ultimatum that has been given by the opposition to the government, the JLP rejected the PMP's call for Chung's appointment to be rescinded. Government Senator Marlon Morgan described the PMP's attempt to bully and manipulate the system as being unacceptable. Morgan said it would be disappointing if the PMP is seeking to bring the selection process into disrepute, given that a possible candidate of their choice was not found to have merited selection for the post. In addressing the matter at a post-cabinet press briefing on Thursday, Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, defended the selection process, saying that it was fair and transparent. I've seen a gentleman who has excelled in everything that he has done. I have confidence in the team that does the interview that selected these individuals. We keep saying it is a process, Maurice Dixon stated. She further went on to say, no one just wake up and, a minister calls and say, here's a job for you. It cannot work like that. As the debate continues, some social media users are demanding that the government should not rescind Chung's appointment and instead stand by the decision to appoint him. However, others are questioning whether Chung is the right person for the job, with some arguing that the issue has simply become too political. It's because Chung, don't sing the PMP song. Why they saying this? So to how I see it, no one must get appointed to any position in Jamaica, because regardless, that person going to lean towards a side, a man wrote on Facebook. In response, a woman agreed with that viewpoint. There is a disgusting tendency in this country to tarnish and diminish the character and integrity of individuals who do not reflect similar views and opinions. I guess they were happier under colonialism than being governed by our own people, she stated. A man wrote that Mr. Dennis Chung said things about Usain Bolt and said him a go lead the same place investigate the matter. This no right. Another commenter said, we must can find a better candidate than him. This man has had too many political appointments. But another Facebook user argued that Chung was duly appointed by the Public Service Commission based on his qualifications. He further suggested that the process was impartial. The PMP is an absolute disgrace and joke at this point. According to a woman, the so-called Integrity Commission appears to be made up of people opposing Andrew Holness. So not a thing don't wrong if we do the same. Meanwhile, a man questioned the rationale of not appointing an individual with law enforcement experience to what he suggested is a technical role. Something smells stinks in the state of Jamaica. The position clearly says a chief technical director with the relevant experience to deal with fraud and other technical issues concerning financial crimes. So how we get to Dennis Chung appointed here? The man asks. A woman expressed the view that if Favour Williams and the JLP can't understand why Dennis Chung heading the FID stinks and is smelly, then we are doomed as a country if sympathizers can head important law enforcement agencies.
Yeah, man, I say I don't know at first it's the 90s, boss. I represent for dancehall info. You see me, I say, connect up right now. Make sure you follow the page, subscribe and follow and everything. As you I say, support the movement. Polo shirt and my damn shirts, tight jeans with a bad clocks. Dancehall info. No boy, man, at first I represent.